Welcome to Cyber Focus from the McCrary Institute, where we explore the people and ideas shaping and defending our digital world. I'm your host, Frank Salufo, and I have the privilege to sit down today with Bill Evanina. Bill spent 25 years at FBI and most recently retired as the director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center. And I like to start every interview with a little bit of everyone's North Star, their why. What pulled you into the Bureau, into the National Security Mission, and because we do have students listening as well, what advice would you give them in terms of what they ought to be thinking as they pursue similar careers?
Great question. And I often say you have to have a dream, you have to have a want, and follow that dream. I've wanted to be an FBI agent since I was a little boy, and I followed that dream, and then opportunities present themselves. I started my job with the government when I was 21 years old, the General Services Administration, what got me into the federal service. And I think at the end of the day, to be in the FBI, CIA, NSA, any three-letter agency, or Social Security or IRS, it's a calling, public service. You either have it in your blood or you don't. Police officers, firemen, hospital folks, you have that genetic want to be. And I think if you have it, follow that dream and don't let anything stop you from getting to where you want to be.
Awesome, thank you. And given your last role at the NCSC, can you paint us a picture of the counterintelligence landscape? I know you put out a major strategy and thought it would be good to just foot stomp a couple of the high points there.
Yeah, I think it's important, Frank, when you talk about where we are in the threat landscape. And I don't think in my lifetime we've ever been in a situation we've had more complex threats with the ecosystems that we have around our nation and coming from so many different places. And I think when you look back at the counterintelligence strategy we produced in 2020, you think about a counterintelligence strategy, countering the intelligence apparatus of other nation states. Well, the pillars were critical infrastructure, supply chain, economic security, cyber, foreign influence. They sound like a security issue, right? But it was the first time we actually made a decision to blend not only what the bad guys were doing, but where they're actually doing it and where are the targets of those implications. And I think now we start to see the aspects of cyber and ubiquitous that it is in the United States. It is everywhere in all places.
And Bill, one of the things I give you a ton of props for and credit for is having this conversation with the American people. You think counterintelligence, you think very small doors that no one ever can enter. You found a way, I think, to articulate these issues and also recognition that to succeed, it has to be outside the small alphabet soup of federal agencies that deal with counterintelligence. Anything you want to share on that?
Well, first of all, thanks, Frank. We worked really hard. I was surrounded by a lot of great women and men who gave us the opportunity to not only take crisis and create opportunity, but actually get out there in the public and talk about what Russia and China and Iran were doing in our public space, not against our government. And I think a couple things happened that provided this opportunity with the changing of Xi Jinping coming to power and Putin doing things. And actually was the paradigm shift, not only nation-state threat actors against the U.S. government, but more importantly, that aspect of their doing nefarious activities in the private sector, against our financial services sector, our energy sector, our telecom sector. That gave us the opportunity to tell that story that counterintelligence isn't just counterespionage. It isn't just spying on behalf of other countries. It's actual counterintelligence apparatus taking activities here domestically in the United States that's primarily against our corporate entities.